Are we ready to do this? Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. How are you? I'm Mistress Carrie. I'm joined by my sidekick. Hold on. Let me see if I can get her on the pug cam. Come here, Wednesday. Come over here. Can you guys hear me okay? There she is. What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for hanging out with me every Tuesday night at 8:30. For anybody that's new, this is number 84, I believe, of Cocktails in the War Room. And I am so psyched that you guys are all hanging out. We got the pug cam in action. This is Wednesday, in case anybody is new. Thank you guys for joining us. She got some new toys in the post office box this week, including this shark. And where's the other one, Wednesday? Oh, here it is right here. She got a Pumbaa, too. Pumbaa! Wednesday, you want this one? Come here. All right. I'll leave her new toys right here so she can come and hang out with them. Where's the ducking stingray? I believe that the ducking stingray is in her basket, actually. No volume. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me now? How about now? Better? Better. Can't hear you now. Is it better now? Your sound is off. I think I fixed it. Okay, better. Sorry, I turned the microphone down by accident. You'd think by now I would have gotten this shit under control. But I'm in here doing it by myself, and I got a pug that's knocking all of the pillows off the couch, and oh my God, do I have so much to talk to you guys about. It's been a really busy week. Hey, will you come over here? Come over this way. You're standing on all my notes. I spend all this time preparing for the show, writing stuff down, and what do? You step on all my stuff. All right, once again, I want to thank my friends at RPM Dynamics and also Image Custom Design for sponsoring this week and also sponsoring this week's episode of the podcast. And we're going to go over who's on the podcast this week coming up. Don't bite me. What are you doing? But I have so much to talk to you guys about. First and foremost, how are you guys doing? Did you guys get to go and do normal things in the last week that you haven't been able to do for a while? I went skydiving and it was amazing. Oh, it was so good. Yeah, now she wants to play. Look at her. She hasn't wanted to talk to me all day. And now that she knows I'm hanging out in the war room with you guys, now she's like, oh, it's time to play. Ah! She's like, I'm on the pug cam. Whee! Where are your toys? I'm trying to talk to the people. Are you just going to hang out for a while? What's going on? What's going on? I'm going to try and let her get it out of her system. Yeah, exactly. Once the camera's on. Wonder Twin powers. Form of a psychotic pug. Oh, way to go, Wednesday. I went social distance camping, says Will. Roof deck dining, says Paula. I went to the Harpoon Brewery on Sunday, says Melissa. It's crazy to do like normal things, isn't it? Hold on. Something normal. Fernandez Sangria in my War Room bullet mug. Monica says, sadly, not much getting ready for surgery. Monica, we hope you're doing okay. Stay healthy. Good luck. Went to dinner last weekend and Sunday for Father's Day inside dining in Connecticut. Whoa. Yeah. Happy belated Father's Day to all of the dads because we didn't have the War Room on Sunday. So obviously, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Donna says, I went to work. Oh, is that a good thing, Donna? Congratulations. You're back to work. Did I get my email, says Jeff. I don't know what that means, Jeff. 99 restaurant today with my daughter, who's 20 today. Well, happy birthday to your daughter, Jeff. That's fantastic. Florida cases are rising, says Eva. I know. I've been watching that, actually. Monica needs a bag of dicks, says Don. Hey, are you trying to bite my hand? Yeah, we should probably send Monica a bag of dicks, and she's the one that started all of this bag of dicks nonsense. Deb says she got her nails done. So next week I'm going to the dentist, which I have not been able to go in months. I actually had an appointment the week that WAF went off the air, and I've had to postpone it ever since. I don't know where Wednesday went, but I'm going to turn the pug cam off for now. So I have not had to or had the opportunity to go to the dentist since then, and I can't wait to go next week, which I am seriously looking forward to. And then maybe a nail appointment. And then who knows? Maybe I could go and see Linda, my beloved hairdresser that I have not been able to see in forever. Yeah, Annette, got a haircut. Exactly. My hair is so long. The other day, I got out of the shower and I thought something was crawling like on my lower back, right above my butt. And it was my hair. And it hasn't been that long in so long. And Scott says, I went to the beach. People weren't very thrilled when I peed a 6-foot circle around my chair. Please don't do that. Donated blood. Way to go, Eric. That's fantastic. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. I got all of the beauty lights on. Did you guys see the picture that I put up after Cocktails in the War Room last week to kind of show you guys the setup in here? It's not highly technical. It's the laptop and some lights and the microphone and some other stuff, but cut my damn toe. I'm watching you from the hospital. Oh, really, Jen? Feel better. I will tell you guys that, and if you are following my tweets, you may already know this. For the first time in my life, I'm allergic to poison ivy. Ask me how I found out, guys. Well, I found out because I did some yard work in shorts and sandals because normally I'm not allergic to poison ivy. And let me see. I know you guys don't want to see this, but I might show you guys anyway. Oh, yeah. I am dying. The pug cam just became the gross cam. Oh, shit. What did I just do? Did I just do something bad? I did. I just did something bad. I hit the wrong key. Oh, no. Oh, undelete. Fantastic. So, yeah. Roger says, need a haircut. Yep. Joe says, listen to the last podcast. Zach and Corey were wicked awesome. I totally agree. Yeah, you guys, is that the Bigfoot, says Scott? Actually, that was the Bigfoot. The Littlefoot's even worse, and I'm not going to subject you guys to that, but it's really bad. 2020 can seriously eat another bag of dicks because it obviously hasn't eaten enough. Yes, it's more itchy, and let me just tell you guys, I don't care how big it is, how in shape you are. I don't care how many tricks you can do with it. I don't care how many pornos you've watched to get ideas. The feeling of scrubbing your poison ivy with an exfoliating poison ivy scrub rivals the best orgasms on planet Earth. I didn't say it beat it, but ooh, is it giving it a horse race? Let me tell you what. The exfoliating scrub. So I put a picture up for like my family and my friends just so that they could kind of see what the hell I had going on with the poison ivy. And I got a bunch of suggestions from friends that work outside, landscapers, and they told me about this exfoliating scrub that rips open the blisters and then gets the medicine in there. I'm just telling you, ladies, if you've been quarantined, it feels as good as you can imagine. If 2020 is a TV show character, it's Nellie from Little House on the Prairie. It feels so good, Kayla. Seriously. Eye rolling delicious. The scrub is bliss, says Trisha. It totally is. I'm telling you guys, you don't understand. Thank you, Jeff. Glad you loved the second podcast. There's a lot of podcast news to talk about. So the first thing I want to do is I want to remind you guys about the One Mission Buzz Off that is just a couple days away. It's coming up on the 25th. You can text buzz off to 44321 and you can donate and support people that are shaving their heads. It's a virtual buzz off this year. Usually they have it at Gillette Stadium, but obviously they're not able to do that. You can also get involved. You can get all the details at buzzforkids.org. But there is, just because the world is crazy, right? Just because there is protesting and rioting, just because there is a global pandemic, doesn't mean that there aren't still kids battling cancer and families that are struggling because of it. And that is what the One Mission Buzz Off does, is to support those families and to make it so that they can concentrate on what's important, which is the health of their kids, and support them while they are in the fight of their lives, seriously. And so the Buzz Off, if you want to shave your head and raise some money from family and friends, you can do that at buzzforkids.org. You can register. You can support it. You can get more details on it. Just go to the website, buzzforkids.org, and obviously you can make a donation if you text Buzz Off to 44321. So thank you guys for checking that out. I want to talk to you guys about how amazing you are about the Cocktails in the War Room t-shirts, because I went and donated the money that we raised from the t-shirts yesterday. And let me tell you what, when you guys see the pictures that I took and see this organization and what they're doing, you will be amazed, and you will be so proud that you bought those t-shirts and that this is where your money is going. The Mass Military Support Foundation's been around for about 6 years. I talked to the president and the CEO, Don Cox, yesterday, who I presented the check to. And he gave me a tour around the entire facility and told me how the money is spent and how they distribute the food, and told me about the families that are benefiting from all of the volunteerism that's happening and all of the donations. So the first thing I want to show you is the donation of the check. So that right there is Don Cox. He's the president and the CEO. And he was so grateful about the money. He was just overwhelmed at how generous everybody was. I got him to put his own shirt on, which is awesome. So yes, we wore our masks to do the photo op, but I really wanted to get a picture so that you guys know. The check was $5,616.27 to be exact. Okay, these are the pictures from inside the warehouse. So what you guys are seeing in the top two pictures on the left-hand side, all of that white decking. So this warehouse was purchased next to Gillette Stadium by the Kraft family. And they purchased this warehouse for the sole purpose of storing the decking that goes over the field during concerts and special events. And then obviously all of the folding chairs for all of the concerts that they put down on the ground. And they wanted to be able to keep all of that decking and everything inside. So they bought this old warehouse that is just next to Gillette Stadium. So obviously, when everything happened and the coronavirus really hit, and the Food for Vets program was needed more than ever, the Kraft family had the chairs and the decking moved into the smallest square footage possible in the warehouse to free up all of this warehouse space for the Massachusetts Military Support Foundation and the Food for Vets program. And so what you're seeing in the bottom two pictures is the care package assembly line, the warehouse for all of the food. And as you see right there on the cardboard or the chalkboard, every week they update the amount of boxes that they've packed. Don't forget, each box is good for 2 weeks. It's good for 2 people, 3 meals a day for 2 weeks. And so each box obviously contains, 84 meals. So the number of meals, when I was there yesterday, they said they were approaching 3 million, but they weren't close. Yes, I'm going to put all of these pictures up on Facebook, but I wanted to premiere them in Cocktails in the War Room first. I wanted to give you guys a chance to kind of see all of the pictures that I took and to understand what this facility looks like. So how it works logistically is that they get food donations, and there are so many organizations. Cisco's involved. The Home Base Program is involved. The Greater Boston Food Bank is involved. And they take semis full of donated food, both perishable and non-perishable, and they bring them into this warehouse and they store them and they sort them. And they've got dietitians that planned out how many calories and what nutritional value each box of food has to have for 2 adults for 3 meals a day for 2 weeks. And so what they do is, if you look in the bottom left, you see the Food for Vets cardboard boxes. By the way, those boxes were ordered and they were delivered and printed by the Kraft family as well. So this is how they pack the boxes. So in the top left, you see the trolleys. Each trolley gets 4 boxes. That's the size of the cardboard box. So if you volunteer for Food for Vets, which they take volunteers every day, they obviously screen you for the coronavirus. You wear a mask, you wear gloves. You go in there, you take a trolley with 4 empty boxes, and you walk down that assembly line that's in the center picture with all the numbers on the floor. Those numbers are how many packages of whatever food is in that pile needs to go into each box. So there's everything from beans and pasta. There's a lot of soup and cereals. There are things like paper towels and Tylenol and all kinds of stuff that is donated. And you can see the giant piles in the top right. So as they go down, they fill those 4 boxes on their trolley. And then when they get done, they bring it over to the people that seal up the boxes. And then they shrink wrap them onto the pallets like you see in the bottom right. That is the non-perishable food box. When the veterans register and actually come to pick up their food donation box, they get what they call a bonus box, which is filled with the perishable stuff, the fruits, the vegetables, the dairy products, because that needs to be kept obviously refrigerated. And so one of the major expenses, because they get a lot of this food donated for free, one of the actual cash expenses is the diesel fuel that it costs to truck the food from where it's being donated into this warehouse, to then truck all of the boxes to all of the donation points where the veterans are actually registering to come and pick up their donation boxes, and then all of the idling trucks that are the refrigeration trucks that are keeping everything cold, because the warehouse was just a big empty warehouse when the Crafts donated the square footage. And so they need refrigeration space, which they are now getting inside the semis that are refrigerated trucks. By the way, the Patriot semi, the same one that went to New York with all of the PPE, the equipment truck, has also been donated by the Kraft family. And that semi is being used to pick up food donations and to deliver these delivery boxes as well. I'm not trying to kiss the Kraft's ass, but Don and everyone else at the Mass Military Support Foundation was very quick to give credit where credit was due with the Kraft family, and to say that none of this would have been possible without them. So I presented Don with the check. And one of the things that he wanted me to do was to make sure that you guys all knew how grateful they were for your generous donations. The other thing that they wanted to let me have you know is that you can, in fact, go there and you can pack these boxes. And you can register right there on that website, massmilitarysupportfoundation.org. There is there's a button right at the top of the page that says volunteer, and you fill out a form, and then they will contact you. Now, they also wanted me to talk to you guys about the next couple of events that they're having. There is an event on Friday, the 26th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Bose location on Mountain Road in Framingham. So if you're a veteran that is in need of food assistance, you can go and register online at the website, and then you can register to pick up your food boxes on Friday at Bose between 10 and 1. And then the location that I went to in Framingham, which is the warehouse right next to Gillette Stadium, it's on North Street, that's where they have their food pickup every Saturday. So one of the things that Dawn talked to me about, and I thought that I put it up here, but maybe I didn't. I guess I didn't. Is he wanted to talk about who is actually in need of food assistance. He said they are most of the time servicing World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War veterans. He said there's a few reasons why. Number one, they're on a fixed income because they're older. Number two, they are immunocompromised. And also, one of the things that Don explained to me is that so many of them are over 55, and a lot of companies are using the furloughs and the layoffs to shed older workforces that will not be brought back once the economy starts to get back on track. And so he's saying that this problem is only going to get worse, that there are going to be a lot of older veterans that are going to be in need of food assistance. And he said right now around New England, they are servicing every 2 weeks over 30,000 families with this food assistance. So I really wanted to take the time to explain to you guys where it is that your money went. He said it costs, I believe, $27,000 a month in fuel costs alone, which he said is his biggest expenditure. They obviously have the warehouse space that's donated by the crafts, the cardboard boxes donated by the crafts. They have a lot of truck drivers that have donated their time, their trailers. The volunteers pack the boxes. There's volunteers that are handling a lot of this stuff, but the hard cost is the diesel fuel. And so the t-shirts went to help and get these trucks on the road and to move these food boxes around. So if you guys are interested in volunteering, please, please, please do so. Go to the website, click the volunteer button. You can fill it out. You will be overwhelmed. I didn't put all the pictures up here tonight, but I will put them all up in the Cocktails in the War Room photo gallery on Facebook so you guys can see just how huge this warehouse really is. It's massive. He had to use a golf cart to get me a tour of this giant warehouse. And so I just really wanted to let you guys know how appreciative not only they were, but how much in need these services are, and that they are being used more and more all of the time. And unfortunately, when it comes to our older veterans and the economy, there's a really good chance that more of them are going to be in need of food assistance than they even realized, based on the fact that they might not be able to go back to their jobs, that this layoff or this furlough may end up being permanent. And did they say how many meals our donation will feed? Well, that's the thing, Eric, is that sometimes the food is getting donated and they're getting the food for free. The hard costs are the things like the trucking and the refrigeration. And so, they spend the money where they need to, and whatever they can get for free in labor, in food donations, in cardboard boxes, in warehouse space, they take it. So I don't know exactly dollar amount, what it would equate to in meals, but he assured me that if it's $27,000 a month just in fuel costs alone, I mean, we took care of, a week, a little less than a week of all of their trucks. So you're keeping all of that food refrigerated. You're getting those trucks out. These pickup places like Bo's on Friday and Food for Vets on Saturday, that's where the money's going. And so you guys should be really proud, and you should wear those Cocktails in the War Room shirts with pride, because you guys did something amazing. And every 2 weeks, 30,000 veteran families are being helped, and they are growing. Unfortunately, the need is there, and they have, I know that I've talked about it in the past, this list of all of the different spots, and the list is constantly growing. There's distribution sites in Rhode Island now, up in New Hampshire, but here in Massachusetts, they've had distribution locations in Agawam, Baldwinville, Barnstable, Bridgewater, Brighton, Danvers, Devons, Fall River, Foxborough, which is at the Gillette Stadium location, the warehouse right next to the stadium. Bo's in Framingham, up in Haverhill, Methuen, North Adams, Randolph, Raynham, Sandwich, Westport. And that's just to name a few. The updated list of distribution points is up on their website as well. So please go to their website, get all of the information, ask about how you can help. And if you are a veteran and you are afraid to ask for help, you're not alone. That's what we're here for. That is what Don and his amazing staff at the Massachusetts Military Support Foundation are there for. And the food is there. Look at these pictures. Look at these warehouses full of food. These boxes are packed by the pallet. He actually was telling me that Max Lane, in the height of the coronavirus, was one of the people that was there packing those pallets. And he is heavily involved with this as well, which didn't surprise me at all because he's such a sweet guy. And so, go online if you're a veteran, register, find a distribution place that is closest to you, and go and pick up the food because it's there. And so many people have donated to make sure that this program is up and running. And I got to tell you, walking through there yesterday, I spent a couple hours there learning about what they do, and they are expanding so fast. Jackie's saying, Carrie, you did this. We just jumped on the cart. You're driving. That may be so, but if you're driving an empty bus, you're not doing anything. So if I'm driving, you guys are all right there with me, and you guys made this happen. And so I want to thank Brian, the t-shirt guy, and I want to thank my friend Christine. I want to thank all the people at the post office and my family, my Auntie Ange, my mom, everybody that helped pack up all of those envelopes with the t-shirts, because it was really overwhelming to see what this organization is doing. So please support them. Oh, there it is. There are all of the statistics that I was looking for. Over 30,000 families, World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam veterans, and over 55 veterans are the most at risk. I knew that I put that on one of the slides. So you guys fucking rock, man. There's no other way to say it. You guys are amazing. Okay. Can we switch gears and talk about the podcast? Ooh, because we got a lot going on with the podcast. And on Tuesday nights here in the War Room is when I announce to you guys who's going to be featured on this week's podcast. And I am announcing, drum roll please, this week's podcast episode is Tommy Vext from Bad Wolves. I call him Bestie, but episode number 3 is Tommy Vext from Bad Wolves. Let me tell you what, guys. Tommy Vext, he don't give a fuck. And let me tell you why I say that. Because this episode of the podcast, I think at one point or another, you will either be standing screaming, fuck yeah, Tommy, or standing screaming, fuck you, Tommy, and most likely both in the same episode. Tommy has got a lot of things to say. He has lived a life. For those of you guys that don't know a lot about Tommy Vext, he is a child of interracial parents. His brother was convicted of attempted murder for actually killing Tommy, and he was brought back to life. If you watch the Bad Wolves video for the song Remember When, that song is actually autobiographical of what happened with his brother who got into drugs. Tommy got into drugs as well, but he's been sober for a really long time. He actually talks about a lot of the sober counseling that he does. But Tommy has seen a lot. He has done a lot. He's been a lot of places. He is incredibly intelligent. He's very well spoken. But let me tell you, this episode, there is a lot going on. You will probably hear me talk. You're so used to seeing me in the War Room and hearing me talk constantly because you guys can't talk back. This is basically what it was like for me being on the receiving end of Tommy Vext in the interview for the podcast. There were points that were like 10 minutes long where he was just talking. And I just sat there because I was like, I don't want to interrupt him. He is on a roll. And Tommy Vext, this episode is going to ruffle some feathers. And I think by the end, you're going to be like, you know what? He's fucking right. And so there's there's a lot going on in this episode, and I want you guys to check it out, and I want you to let me know what you think. One of the things about the War Room and one of the things about the podcast is I really want to hear what people have to say. And as long as they're coming at their opinion with evidence and facts and not ignorance and hatred, then these discussions are something that I think needs to happen, because right now all we're getting is a lot of screaming from two diametrically opposed sides. And I think, as we've said in the War Room many, many, many times, the truth is in the middle. And Tommy's got a lot to say. He got a lot of people pissed off with that marker video, I'll tell you that. And hearing what he thinks about the fallout from that and what he thinks about everything else is really interesting. Remember When is the name of the song, Sean. It was one of their biggest hit singles last year. And it's autobiographical. If you watch the video, just Google the video. It's up on YouTube. You'll be like, holy shit. And one of the things that I talked to him about in the podcast, which I thought was really interesting, I've only met a couple people in my life that have died and been brought back to life. Tommy Vext is one of them. And I asked him what it was like to die. And he answered the question. And I think you guys will be really interested in what his answer was. Heather says Shu had him on Breaking the Ice podcast a couple weeks ago. I know. And I had him slated to be on this podcast as well. He's doing the rounds right now. There's a lot going on. Now, I will tell you that Bad Wolves were supposed to be opening up for Disturbed and Stained at the Xfinity Center. That show, that whole tour actually has been rescheduled. And so the tour is coming back. The shows, there's a Hartford show and there's a Massachusetts show in Mansfield at the Xfinity Center, and they are rescheduled for July of 2021. So if you already had tickets, they are going to be good there, I believe. And if you don't have tickets yet, that's going to be an amazing show. It was supposed to be the Disturbed, the Sickness 20th anniversary tour, and now it's going to be the Sickness 21st anniversary tour. So there you go. So the rescheduled dates are 2021. You can go to the Bad Wolves, Stained, or Disturbed websites, and they have all of the updated tour dates on there as well. Okay. I want to show you guys, I showed you the toys that Wednesday got in the mailbox this week. And I wanted to show you guys the mug that I got. Check this shit out. It's got a hand grenade like the t-shirts. And it says Cocktails in the War Room on the back. So I got this care package today. I'm not going to read the letter because it's pretty personal. But I wanted to thank Andy down in Enfield, Connecticut. Andy, I got your letter. Wednesday got her toys. And I really appreciate the mug. Thank you so much. I totally understand why you had to type your letter. I don't want to read his email or his letter, I mean. Oh, wait, hold on. I said the pug cam and then look who came back. But I just really want to let you know that I appreciate not only the toys for Wednesday, but also my mug, which is absolutely fantastic. So how you doing, Wednesday? This is also my subtle reminder that you can follow Wednesday on Instagram. That's her Instagram handle right there on the pug cam. Wednesday the Goth Pug. She is now over 730 fans. Way to go, Wednesday. You're like a rock star. You got a fan club. Huh? Right? Can I just tell you guys that all she wants to do is lick my poison ivy? Like, it's covered with calamine lotion right now. I even have it on my arms and stuff. I'm trying to keep it from spreading. She's knocking the fucking pillows off the couch right now. Hey, can you, no, come over here. Go that way. Go that way. What, do you want me to just, she's scratching at me. Do you want to just sit down? Sit. Sit down. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, you don't want your own cam? You want this cam? Do you want that cam? Huh? Want to say hi to everyone? Say thank you for spoiling me so much at the post office with all of the awesome stuff that I get in the mail. Right? Are you being a good girl? Huh? Sorry, I had to take a pug break. Okay. Can we talk about the podcast some more? Do you want to just sit down and no? You want this to be about you? Okay. Wednesday needs a theme song. No shit, really? Maybe I'll ask Sully to write her one too. Hey, no biting. No biting. You can, let me put the pug cam back on and you can sit there and hang out, okay? This is my life. Speaking of the post office, just so you guys have the updated mailing address, I know I told you guys last week that I reconfigured the mailing address, but there it is, 68 Main Street, Unit 1086 in Leominster, Mass. 01453. Okay, so I told you guys who's on the podcast this week. Now I want to talk to you guys about the podcast. These are all the different places that you can listen to it. I want to thank everybody that told me there were issues with iHeartRadio last week. Let me tell you what, I reached out to iHeart to find out why the episodes weren't propagating. I went to their customer service. I actually got a human. They asked me for my email address and the feed, and they fixed it and sent me an email and said, your feed should be okay now. So I just want to say thank you to iHeartRadio and their app, because their technical support, there's actual human beings fixing this shit, which is fantastic. Amy wants to know, how do I contact you? Amy, well, you can find me right here. There I am. You can tweet me at Mistress Carrie on Twitter, Instagram at Mistress Carrie WAF, same as Facebook. I'm here. So here's all the places that you can check out the podcast. And then the official podcast site is mistresscarriepodcast.simplecast.com. Okay, guys. I need a drink for this. So a few days ago, I pulled up a map. And I put the picture up on Facebook and on Instagram of all of the different places around the world where people were listening to my podcast. And it was overwhelming. There were people in Japan. There were people in the UK, people in Canada. It was unbelievable. And that was a few days ago. So this afternoon, I pulled up a map, and this is who's listening to the Mistress Carrie podcast now. I don't know who the fuck you guys called in the last few days, but we got New Zealand, we got Australia. I mean, you guys are unbelievable. China, Russia, most of South America, Mexico. Everything that is in blue has downloaded the Mistress Carrie podcast. The darker the shades of blue, the more downloads. Obviously, the United States is colored the darkest because that's where most of the listening is happening. But you guys are unbelievable. Kelly, what's up? They're drinking Moscow Mules with me in North Carolina. That's fantastic. I took this screen grab because I couldn't believe it. Wednesday, come over here. Seriously, we're spreading like coronavirus right now. Except we're the good guys. So you guys are unreal. I don't know who you've been emailing and what you've been hashtagging to get the word out that the podcast is out there. But we went from like 10 countries. Who the hell knows someone in Poland and the Ukraine? It's unbelievable. Sharing the shit out of it. Thank you very much, Debbie. I appreciate it. Taking over the world, Heinz. Absolutely. We need to get Africa. Well, if you guys know people in Africa, let's go. Let's do this. Melissa says, told you you were going places. Yeah, you weren't kidding. That map is unreal. Wednesday is returned with her favorite. I believe her energy. You guys are watching the pug crash now. She was hyper as all hell. And now she's got her favorite toy, which we call her favorite. There's no other way to describe it. And that's how she naps. So there you go. So that's the locations. One of the other things I wanted to do is I wanted to thank everybody, all of the outlets that have been helping me get the word out. Because the word is getting out like crazy. I want to thank Worcester Magazine. I want to thank the Worcester Telegram and Gazette. I want to thank the Sound Off podcast, which, by the way, is up in Canada. That podcast episode went live today. I want to thank Blabbermouth for picking up the story about Corey Taylor. I want to thank WAAF for promoting my podcast on the radio.com platform. I want to thank the guys at Breaking the Ice, who were the first people to come in. They were here in the war room with me in early March to come in and talk to me. The Mass Broadcasters Association for sending out a tweet today and a story from All Access. So I want to thank those guys for helping to get the word out about the podcast. And I also want to thank JAG in Detroit, because all of these places just in the last 10 days have helped me get the word out about the podcast. And you guys are absolutely unbelievable. And I am so grateful that you guys are all getting the word out. So, right, Wednesday? She's not impressed anymore. But seriously, this isn't an accident. Stop scratching. I know, Barbara, I can't help it. I know you saw that. I was like, oh, maybe they didn't see that, but you can see me around the graphic. Oh, I can't help it. Jeff's saying that Bag of Dick sponsorship is more and more possible all the time, right? Melissa says the Soundcast interview is the best yet. Thank you very much. Yeah, the Worcester Magazine, John says. So I was actually able to get a copy of it. I believe you can get it for free all over Worcester County. And I didn't know when I did the interview, because I did the interview a couple weeks ago, that they were putting it on the goddamn cover. So thank you, Worcester Magazine. You guys are awesome. I look kind of hot in that picture too. I'm like, hey, listen to my podcast. What's up? What's going on? So yeah, pick up your copy of Worcester Magazine if you can get your hands on a copy with that hot purple-haired biatch on the front. So I was pretty excited about that. And you guys are making that happen as well. And I wanted to try Benadryl later, Kathy. I've been taking Benadryl every night so that I can sleep, but I can't take it during the day because, as they say, it knocks my dick in the dirt. It's kind of like that NyQuil coma. So I can only take it at night. Fill the bath with calamine lotion. Rodney, you're not even joking. Brianna, I know the cover, right? Jeff, I emailed them. They want to talk. You emailed who? Who wants to talk? Jeff, I missed your other message. The comments are flying fast and furious on here. Totally collectible, Patty. What's next, space? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. That pic says Eric is, hey, big boy, let me show you my huge podcast. Producer Mike says, take an oatmeal bath. I know, seriously. I actually am going to go and get in the ocean on Thursday. That is my plan. I can't go tomorrow, but I think I'm going to make the ride and go on Thursday and just submerge myself in ocean water until I can't handle it anymore because I'm fucking dying. Oh, you're talking about the bag of dicks, Jeff. Yes. Well, let's make this happen. I would love to have the podcast sponsored by Bag of Dicks. That would be fantastic. I am going to go jump in the ocean, Jane. I'm doing that on Thursday. I can't wait. Someone said to pee on yourself, it would help you heal. No. And I'm not going to have somebody else pee on me. I don't even know if I want you peeing on me if I get stung by a jellyfish. It's just weird. I'm into a lot of kinky, weird things. That's not one of them. Just so we're clear. Okay? Salt water will help you dry it out faster. Exactly. That's what I'm doing. Ocean's the best. Yeah, I'm doing that. Are you taking your bike out this year? I'm taking my bike out, as soon as I can wear pants. Because right now I can't put pants on. Because the thought of having any kind of material anywhere near my legs right now. Michelle says, give Wednesday a bath too. She could have the oils on her and spread it. Ooh. Yeah. Don't even want to deal. No, no, no to the P. Since you're in the war room, introduce me to that bag. The what? What am I missing? Oh, are you guys still talking about the bag of dicks? Hold on. Oh, Fernandez's sangria gets better the hotter it gets outside. So freaking good. Mistress Carrie, phone home with Cheez-Its, blueberry cobbler, and a bag of dicks. Seriously. Never go full Cheez-It. Ever, 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 ever. Never go for the Cheez-It. Never, ever, ever go for the Cheez-It. Watch out for jellyfish. Been hearing about them in the local waters lately. That would be my luck, right? Is that I finally make the drive to the ocean to get rid of my poison ivy and I get stung by jellyfish. That would be so 2020. What else did I want to talk to you guys about? Oh, Seether came out with a new song today. It's called Dangerous. I want to make sure you guys know that that's out there and to check it out. And if today is your birthday, because we always love to celebrate birthdays here in the War Room, even though now slowly you're going to be able to celebrate your birthday in public again. You share your birthday with Stuart Sutcliffe, who is the guy that was in the Beatles and then wasn't in the Beatles, like the most unlucky son of a bitch on the planet. Obviously, also Randy Jackson and Jason Mraz are the only musical birthdays that I could find today. So Michelle wants to know how my skydive was. It was awesome. It was so nice to get back in the air and just, it was unbelievable how much better I felt about just everything. I know that people think it's crazy that you relax by jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, but it really is one of the only things that I've ever found that really quiets the voices in my head, but just quiets all of the stress and the noise and just kind of allows me to just rest my brain a little bit. And there's been so much going on this year, not only with the radio station and obviously the virus and the news, and then trying to start my company and all the other things. I never realized exactly how much I need those de-stressing outlets. And then when I went and jumped out of the plane, like I felt so much better, even though it was really hot and I had to put my jumpsuit on. And so it was itching my legs and whatever. She's still sitting there, by the way. Where are you going? Come over here. Come here. Come here and sit down. Sit down and say hi to everyone. There you go. There's your favorite. There you go, baby girl. It's getting late. And the heat, the hotter it gets, she's not a fan at all. She is just not loving the heat at all. Are you Wednesday? You love the air conditioning though, huh? Huh. Here, come over here so everybody can see you. Come here. Come here. Yeah, come here. I'll rub your belly for everybody. There you go. How's that? Is that good? This is how I spend like hours of my life, rubbing the belly. This is also very relaxing. Not quite as relaxing as skydiving, but it is very relaxing. If you don't have a pug, you should get one. You cannot have mine. Do you have to wear a mask skydiving? On the ground, you do, to be socially distant, and we wear them in the plane. And then you can kind of take the mask off because you got a helmet on when you're in free fall. But I don't think you can catch the corona at 120 miles an hour in free fall. But it is goddamn hot out there for sure. Yeah, the skydiving was great. As soon as I can wear pants, I'll put my jeans on and get the bike out there as well. But it's just been so miserably hot that Wednesday, what are you doing? I wonder if you guys are going to be able to hear her snore. Yeah, you see, I got a keyboard on my lap so I can run all of the screens. You're being a good girl. So that's what's going on, guys. Jay, I don't even know, augmented beta methazone deappropriate ointment 0.05%. I don't even know what that means, but if it's going to make my poison ivy feel better, I will buy it. Let's see. Dad was a paratrooper in World War II. Well, then your dad was a badass, Cheryl. If your dad was jumping out of planes in World War II, he was a fucking badass. Amanda, Carrie, did you get my gift? I don't think so. I got my mug. Where's the camera? Today. But this came from Connecticut. So no, I don't think I did. Now I'm intrigued. No, I didn't, but I'm curious. John says my pug is 16 years old. I had a couple 16-year-old pugs. They do live a long time if you can keep them from getting fat, because when it gets really hot like this, if they're overweight and they can't breathe, and that's how you lose them. So you don't want to let your dogs, especially short-nosed dogs like bulldogs and pugs and dogs like that. Which way are we going? You don't want to let them get fat because it makes it hard to breathe. Happy 50th birthday, Amy. I gave away the t-shirt. What? Tom, why'd you give away your t-shirt? Wednesday needs a pug mug, says Eric. Did you put that stuff up that we sent you for the war room? All of your letters, all of your cards are hanging up in MCHQ. I put a bulletin board up in there, and I'll take a picture of it so that you guys can see it. I still haven't given you guys a tour of MCHQ. I'm still waiting on a couple other things to kind of make it aesthetically more pleasing. Oh, producer Mike's dog Lucy's 14 today. Happy birthday, Lucy. But all of the cards and everything that you guys send me, I hang up in the studio downstairs. Unless it's war room related, and then it stays up here in the war room, like the Pantera Mouth for War lyrics that I got from Karina and some other stuff. What was MCHQ before? Actually, MCHQ before was a gym, and it is no longer a gym. It is where I trained for the marathon, and now it's where I don't train for the marathon because I'm never running it again. Maybe I'll do a Cocktails in the War Room MCHQ edition. Because all of this equipment that's up here making the war room tick is actually all coming out of MCHQ, and then I got to go and put it all back. And half the time I got to do it with buzz on because we drink up here in the war room. But the pictures of the tower beam. Yes, I did get that, and they're hanging up in MCHQ. I suppose I should keep those in the war room, but I kind of wanted to have them in the studio. Do you care which room they're in, Monica? Because I will bring them back up here and put them in the war room, but I have them downstairs, hanging up on the bulletin board in the studio. Yes, an MCHQ Cocktails in the War Room. I mean, I feel bad because literally the Cocktails in the War Room is named after the actual room where we get together. But I want you guys to be able to check out MCHQ. It just, I'm waiting on a couple other things to make it really look good in there. And once I get it all done, War Room, please. All right, Monica, you got it. I'll move them upstairs. But when you guys see the studio, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. We need to do a Cocktails in the War Room virtual 5K, says Mark. Come on, man. It's 97 degrees with 98% humidity right now. You really want to go run a virtual 5K? How about a virtual like 50 feet? That would be easy. That's like, how far is it to go to the fridge and back? Or maybe your beer fridge that you keep in the garage or downstairs in your Mantown or something. As long as you get the goodies. Yes, I get them. The people at the post office have been awesome and making sure that I get everything. Yeah, I think one of the podcasts actually put up a picture of the studio because they asked me for it. But I've been waiting to actually get it 100% finished before I kind of post all of the pictures and stuff. Ooh, a pub crawl. That would be great. No running in the war room. No. There's no running in the war room at all. It's where the booze is. You're just going to get hurt. Virtual 5K in the fall or something? Maybe. Listen, I'm open to all kinds of suggestions. What's she doing over there? Yeah, she's totally. Let me see if I can move the pug cam. There you go. So you guys can just watch the sleeping dog because she is just not impressed hanging out with mom anymore. This is what she's like 23 hours of the day. The other hour, she's biting me and throwing pillows off the couch. And maybe a drinking day Zoom meeting. That's more our speed. Oh, my God. I can't imagine all of you guys I think within 24 hours, there's like 3,000 people that are in the war room with us or something. Like, can you imagine that Zoom screen? Your little heads would be like this big. Um, yeah, the pub crawl does sound like a good idea, Scott. I agree. Um, can you push the name tag up? Oh, yeah, hold on. How's that? Fucking technology, man. I'm telling you. This software is worth every penny, and I'm so glad we did it. Yeah, there's her pug cam. There you go. You guys can just watch her sleep. If she starts snoring, I'll move my microphone and you guys can hear it. It's like it's like the clocks in the war room or like waves. After a while, you kind of get sucked into the rhythm of it and then it makes you want to sleep. Now we can see the cutest face ever. Yeah, exactly. I know. It's kind of insane how adorable she is. Okay. Oh, she's got a fuzzy face. She's got a fuzzy face. I can't believe she fell asleep in here. Is this the first time she ever fell asleep in here? And on the pug cam? It's crazy. Oh. Now I don't even want to talk loud. I don't want to disturb her because she's so damn cute. I think I talked to you guys about everything that I wanted to talk to you about this week. We got new Seether music. Congratulations to those guys. A new Disturbed, Stained, and Bad Wolves tour. Tommy Vexed on the podcast. The new episode goes live at midnight. It's a long one. Hydrate. Get yourselves ready for it. And let's see if this time next week, if we can fill in some of these gaps. This is your mission, guys. It's a geography lesson here in the war room. It looks like we're playing Risk right now. Just move the pieces around. Let's fill in the countries that we don't have yet. I don't know if you guys know anybody in Cuba, but let's get them on this. Some of those places down in the Caribbean, we got to get the word out. But this is pretty unbelievable. 2 episodes in with a new episode coming at midnight. I'm pretty stoked. So thank you guys to everybody that has already signed up for the podcast. And here's just a reminder of where you can subscribe to it. I've gotten a lot of feedback from people that said I've never listened to a podcast before. I didn't know where to listen to them. I didn't know what to do. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what kind of stuff you guys are into. There's podcasts about it. There's scientific podcasts. There's, tattoo podcasts. There's podcasts about history and veterans podcasts. There's a lot of great veterans content, a lot of military stuff up there. And I'll tell you guys, I'll give you a hint that in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have some different kind of episodes coming as well. Because I want to be able to show everybody all of the different things that we can talk about in the podcast, not just the rock stars, but there's a lot of great stories out there. So Dawn says yours was my first. Well, thank you very much, Dawn. But there's a lot of great stuff out there. So find a platform on here that you like. Make sure you subscribe to the Mistress Carrie podcast. And then, I'm sure that you'll find Hot Rods podcast. Yeah, there's motorcycle podcasts. There's exercise podcasts. There's travel podcasts. There's all kinds of stuff. Like Oscar Mike Radio. Exactly, Brianna. Travis is awesome. I think I'm making a triumphant return to Oscar Mike Radio, if I'm not mistaken. So, so many rabbit holes to go down with podcasts, Heather. I totally agree. There's all kinds of great stuff on there. And I want to make sure that you guys are reviewing the podcast too. So when you listen to the episodes, make sure you give it 5 stars, make the comments, because all of those things are what make it show up in the algorithms. I know that you guys have had my podcast in the top 10 of the music podcasts on Apple. I mean, those things get generated every hour. So depending on, how many people are listening at any given time, but you guys are awesome. Mountain biking podcasts, true crime podcasts are my favorite. Brianna says a lot of people listen to those. Is there a podcast about podcasts? I guarantee you there is, Diva, because there's literally a podcast on everything. Sean, hey, Carrie, I found you on iHeartRadio. It's been up there, but we were having technical difficulties. I talked about it earlier. And the people at iHeart were unbelievable. And they got it fixed like super quick. So you should get Art Dela Cruz from Team Rubicon. Scott, I would love to talk to Art from Team Rubicon. That organization does so many amazing things, not only to help the community, but also to help the veterans. It's been unreal. Joe, thousands. It's unbelievable how many people have downloaded the podcast already. There's a certain milestone that I want to hit before I podcast on pugs. I bet there is one. I haven't looked for one, but I bet there is one. A pugcast. Oh, maybe that's what Wednesday will do. Let me get my podcast up and running. And then when all of these countries are filled in, then Wednesday can have her podcast. But if we keep getting pressed like this, it's going to happen. So thank you guys so much. The algorithms. What's an algorithm taste like? Oh, it's delicious. Radio.com is what I use, says Marcy. That's fantastic. Wherever you guys want to find it, I am totally into it. So just listen to it. What about Zach Wild for the podcast? Oh my God, are you kidding? I would love to talk to Zach, not only about his guitars. I would love to talk to the people that build his guitars. Have you seen his signature line of guitars? They're unbelievable. So not only would I like to talk to Zach, but I'd like to talk to the guys that actually build the guitars about why they sound the way they do. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff. I'm starting to realize that maybe one episode a week isn't going to be enough. So you guys might see in the not too distant future bonus episodes coming, and you might not get notice that they're coming because I might not have a chance to tip you off in the war room. So that's why you got to subscribe so you don't miss anything. All right, guys, I think we're good. I've sat here as long as I can without scratching. And now I think I need to go exfoliate with that rub on my legs. Oh God, please don't Photoshop me holding the microphone like that with my mouth open. That's what's going to happen. It's going to end up Photoshopped with a penis. I know it. Thank you once again to RPM Dynamics and Image Custom Designs for not only sponsoring This Week in the War Room, but also sponsoring this episode of the podcast that downloads at midnight. I put all the links for all the different podcasts. They're up on my Twitter and on this Facebook page if you want to go back and listen to any of the other podcasts that have called me to talk about everything that's going on with MCHQ and the podcast. And a lot of people want to talk about the war room. A lot of people are asking me about you guys, and they're like, holy shit. Like, wait, can I? No, I can't move that. They think you guys are amazing with everything that we got going on. So there's a lot of stuff. And I promised, I promised Don that he was going to come on the podcast as well, because I want to talk to him about the logistics of his organization and exactly how he pulls off the magic that he pulls off by helping to take care of veterans that are in need of food assistance all over New England. So he's going to be on an upcoming episode as well. So there you go. All right, guys, that's it. Episode number 84, Cocktails in the War Room. We did it. Don't forget, the videos get posted up on my YouTube channel as well. And as always, you can find me on Twitter at Mistress Carrie and Facebook and Instagram at Mistress Carrie WAF. Enjoy episode number 3 of the Mistress Carrie podcast featuring Tommy Vex from Bad Wolves. That episode goes live at midnight. Bye, guys. Stay safe. Keep the suggestions on how to keep my legs from itching coming, because they're getting itchy again. I can't take it. It's driving me crazy. All right.